Okay, everyone, we are back to business. The Mythic Championship continues, and today we have actually a fun game, a fun best-of-3 series here. We have Team Xray going up against Hold My Beer. And I'm going to talk about the teams in just a moment and also a bit more about the Mythic Championship. But before that, let's introduce the players. And there's a couple that you should actually know. Sugar Daddy 69 plays on Dehaka for the blue team. We're currently having Xray on Ana. In addition to that, we're also looking at, well, right now, Hanzo, played by Ultralisk, Servas on Liming, and Death Knight on Nubarak. And over to the right side of the map, we're currently looking at Hold My Beer with Bolts on Reyna, Satuas on Lost Vikings, Kolatka on ETC, Goride on Sylvanas, and Sasabos on Tyrande. Alright, so this is actually going to be pretty awesome. The Mythic Championship is the end of the amateur season, or marks the end of the amateur season in Heroes Launch, and these are the best teams that play in the amateur season. So we are looking at Division 1 teams here. And if you actually watch Division S diligently, then you know that people like Xray, Servers, Death Knight, and also Sugar Daddy have actually subbed in from multiple Division S teams in the past. So these guys are definitely pretty good. They're not quite former HTC level or anything, but they're definitely decent players here. And Hold My Beer is one of the more ambitious teams that we've seen in the past within Division S of Heroes Launch, and they are usually trying to really get some strategies together, which you can already tell by simply them running the Vikings here on a big map. And with the Sylvanas composition, you normally try to really set the 4-man up so that it gets amazing damage on the lane where they decide to push, and the rest of the team is trying to get the experience of the rest of the Vikings. Now, a couple of the Vikings are getting taken down here, and we actually have even Ana falling up at the top, but this death goes on the side of Team Xray, as down at the bottom. Olaf is still holding the line here. One turret is already down, the second tower is being attacked there too, as Hold My Beer is trying to push through this. And this is a nasty comp. This is really something where you have to make sure that your team is set up properly in order to meet this. You try and control the Viking experience a little bit, but you also need to be in a position where you can either stop the 4-man, or when you can at least force it to react to something else on the map. And right now it's Hold My Beer really leading the charge here, pushing aggressively through the top lane and trying to go for the fort itself. Nice dodge there by Jimmy. That was a close one. If Liming connects the combo there, then he's definitely dead meat. But so far, they have taken the first real kill in the game. We're not counting the Vikings for a moment here. And they're actually doing pretty well with this. Down to the middle, we're seeing Sugar Daddy also slightly in trouble with this. His job is obviously going to be a rotation between the middle and the bottom and trying to get the experience for his team. But Eric is trying to destroy him there and slow the rotation down. And at the same time, the 4-man at the top side is just waiting for one more minion wave to push through even further. So it's actually a pretty cool strategy to have, and it's also one of those strategies that you can always bust out when you feel that your opponent is maybe a bit stronger than you. But if you have something like this, a bit of more of a cheesy strategy like that in your arsenal, it's always amazing to keep your opponent off guard and to just show them, okay, we know what we're doing here. The Vikings soaking, Sylvanas pushing, and so far it's going well for them. But now we have the prisoner camp, or the first one on the map, already announced, and the objective could definitely change things, because it's one of those where Hold My Beer still has to face the music. If they lose out on the cavalry or the raiders here, then they are going to be in trouble in the long run. We're having also a Nubarak with a legion of beetles taken here on level 1 with a bed of barbs on level 4. So that's going to help them to control the situation a little better. Sugar Daddy completely on side lane duty right now, but a Nubarak goes down at the top. As they're seeing Team Xray with quite some trouble to withstand that barrage that is happening now. With this, we're having the fort pretty much already eliminated as well. They're just burning that down quickly. And the Vikings are in the meantime already busying themselves down at the prisoner camp. So it's actually a pretty cool move here from Hold My Beer. They're really doing well with this. Aggressive at the top lane, using the 4-man to his full potential, and at the same time utilizing the Vikings to get a lead on the objective, to soak the experience on the two adjacent lanes. So really, really cool setup from them. Olaf still going down, but the lead is there. And now all of a sudden we're talking about a potential camp taken, we're talking about Hold My Beer having additional talent over their opponent. With Balog the Fierce being claimed on level 7, you can already tell where this is going. This is added wave clear that we now have on Balog, and he's already rotating to the top lane where they can now, together with those gnolls, start to push that lane out. The only problem that they have to face right now is that Team Xray is fighting back. They are going straight for the objective here. They have the Haka just the entire time on cleanup duty, trying to go for the experience here. And at the same time, Team Xray is now making the move for the objective itself. And they're actually looking good here. It's tough for Hold My Beer to really move in with the 4-man that they have. Sugar Daddy moved in too. They're 5-manning it right now, trying to ensure that they're going to get control over this. The Beetles keep the Grunts busy. And here comes the damage as we're nearly having a kill against ETC. But Khaldor gets out of harm's way, but the objective will still end up in the hands of Team Xray. Satra's at the top with Balog trying to push it out further, but obviously the objective is definitely going to hurt quite a bit here. 2 kills against 0 though, and just look at the experience right now. A solid lead for Hold My Beer in this first game of the best of 3 series here at the Mythic Championship. Down to the bottom of the map, Daddy already trying to push the lane out, up to the top, Liming likely to get the kill against Eric. But the main fight is actually happening in the middle of the map. So, he's not going to make it. Eric is down too, but now we have also Balog eliminated. In the middle of the map, on the other hand, it's time to break through the wall here. And this is the chance for Team Xray to maybe start getting back into this. Level 7, Death Knight still going into the subterranean shield here with a Nubarak. Having at the bottom of the map, still a heavy push happening as Sugar Daddy is zoning out Olaf completely. Wants the kill and they will get the kill as now a Nubarak moves in too. And that's Olaf eliminated and the fort will fall. Yeah, with the cavalry already on the point, there's just nothing they can do to save that. Stun of Tirana gets dodged out now. And the fort is down. At the top side, we still have another one being attacked too. Death Knight gets out on a Nubarak, so at least that's happening for him. Able to move away with this. Gore Rider's jumping out though. And he did not go into the Unfurling Shadow. So this is definitely a build with the Might of the Banshee Queen, with the focus into the Barbed Shot later on. You are trying to burn all of this down real quickly. The structures, the minions, you can make place for the boss later on too. But look how this shift on the map now happened. They're rotating everyone down to the bot lane. The 4-man now, after the destruction of the 4 topside, rotates onto a different lane. And the Vikings are instead starting to soak the experience topside and in the middle. And in the case of Eric, we're actually seeing also the camp bribed here. But the more important part is really Balog's push power up at the top, because now he uses that wave clear to make sure that that lane is always pushed out even more. And Nubarak goes down at the bottom of the map as that 4 versus 4 setup is not looking good for Team Xray. They have level 10 finally too. They were obviously far behind on their heroic abilities, and now we have the push continuing down straight through the bottom of the map. Up in the middle, there's still a camp that has to be taken care of at some point. Balog at the top is most likely going to fall here. But down to the bottom of the map, and we'll have another big push from Hold My Beer right now. They want this second fort. They want to take it down right now. And in the middle of the map, the towers are already falling as we're seeing Olaf moving in with the camp. The Haka needs to try and go in for it as well. Satrus could actually interrupt if he sees it. But at the bottom of the map, Sylvanas is pushing aggressively through this. Pressure. You gotta keep the pressure up here. That's what they're trying to do. But now the arrow comes in. Ultralist with a good arrow and a good stun. The Cocoon on ETC just as he's trying to make a move. The interruption on the mosh pit attempt that we just saw from him. And they can turn it easily around to try and get the kill there. Power Slide as he tries to escape. Attempts to dodge out a Nubarak stun, but can't make it happen either. But that kill comes at a cost. The mid lane gets pushed. The fort is down. Top side is getting pushed out too. And Team Xray is finally done with this. They're saying, guys, we cannot match this. Let's go straight in, take the boss, try and push, get aggressive on our own, and stop just playing reactive here. Let's try to take the initiative and attempt to get something done. Dehaka has moved into the middle to stop the worst, stop the keeps from falling, but we still have the pressure at the top. And in the meantime, we've seen Hold My Beer make a rotation towards the top to now go for a boss as well. So they're trying to go for a trade against their opponent. And they already have the level 13 talents, which gives us now the Hunker Burning Olaf as well. So we're going to see even more AoE from them. Not only the focus on Balog himself, but also Olaf now with a bit more AoE that he can use to just simply push those lanes out and put more pressure onto the keeps. So it's a really nice setup that we're currently seeing for Hold My Beer here. Team fights, still something that they don't really want to fully engage into, but now that an objective is up on the map again, we could definitely see a couple of deviations once more when it comes to the rotations there. Yeah, objective already about to be taken. Actually, in this case, we have the control from the red team. Hold My Beer trying to push this further. They have level 13, and that's something that we just don't see for Team Xray. They're trying to go for the boss right now. Eric is still defending at the bottom, the keep, and they're going to save this, at least very likely, especially now that we're having Balog moving in. with 13 talents now on both sides. It's still a close call for Hold My Beer, but the interrupt on the channel is there now. So Xray is able with 13 talents to push them back, at least for the time being. Keep at the bottom of the map has been saved, so that's at least something. Up to the top, we still see damage, but they're not going to be able to take it with the boss alone. So we'll have to push it through a little bit later as well. And the fight has started to shift over to the right side of the map. Hold My Beer with a setup, looking for an opportunity. They don't have 16 just yet. Vikings pushing the lanes out, already busy in the middle, but the kill attempt against Sugar Daddy. Dehaka survives. It's a 5 versus 4 still. There's the mosh pit, but the arrow connects too, as we have the Cocoon moving out. They're going for Death Knight now. Kolatka himself on ETC heads back, but might fall, and does indeed, as Li Ming gets the final damage point in. Another bribe attempt here by Eric. He's gonna wait for that to be ready so that he can take the camp. And in the meantime, we still have the poke with the 3 heroes that remain for Hold My Beer. Balog pushing out the bot lane. Olaf in the middle, sitting right here, trying to push that through 3 more seconds for the camp to appear. That's definitely pressure that they need. They nearly get the kill against Li Ming too. And the 3-man actually saves the day for the time being. The Vikings in the middle, hyper aggressive right now with those gnolls and with the camp that they just took. Able to get even more damage in against the walls. And the bottom of the map gets pressure too. With 16 also in their hands, that's the moment where Hold My Beer starts to make the play for the objective again, thanks to the Vikings soaking 2 lanes. They're massively ahead in experience right now. A 2-level lead for them, a great macro game. And here comes Team Xray trying to face the music as their keep at the top lane loses hit points. The keep in the middle is getting attacked too, and the fort at the bottom of the map has fallen, but the kill is there. They're looking for the double, but they can't find it. Instead, it's a Nubarak that dies. But this is the Vikings pushing again, and the keep is getting low. The fight, on the other hand, still going on. Gore Rider a little bit low on mana, jumps out on the wave, just barely. Ultralisk, Xray, both of them incredibly low in HP, but Ana with the heals. Here comes Olaf though, and the Vikings with a double kill. First Li Ming, and then Ana eliminated. The channel happening again as the top side still gets pushed, but Eric gets eliminated. Balog sits at the bot lane. Here comes the play again as the Vikings are moving in once more, and especially with Largen in charge, you can put so much pressure as a good Vikings player onto Li Ming, for example. Stun her out, jump in, go for a quick whirl, and try to drop her nicely. 7 kills against 5 now, and we have, in addition to that, the Raiders also coming through the map now as the objective has been claimed by the red team. Hold My Beer with a play attempt there. The push still at the top, and every single lane is pushed against Team Xray. The Vikings doing absolute work in this first game. 47,000 damage by Sylvanas in the meantime, hasn't fallen yet in this match. And we're having also on the other side now 44,000 for Hanzo himself. But the first keep is down, the one in the middle is also getting dropped, and that's 2 of the armor shields already gone for the boss, as we have a play for game by Hold My Beer. They want the lead in the best of 3 series, and they're moving in already. Death Knight is getting attacked as he's trying to move away with the subterranean shield. Zavas on the other hand looking for the reset, but he can't find it. And again the attack against the boss, and that could be game, that should be game, that will be game. The Vikings and ETC, they all fall. Can they actually save it? It doesn't feel like it. There's so much damage coming in. Sylvanas is down too. The boss with 1,000 hit points left, and they actually all die. 1,000 hit points left, and everybody gets murdered. Team Xray is able to survive, and now the hit points still coming up here. They made the big play for game, and they were all wiped. A full team wipe right there, and now obviously, because of the map mechanic on Alterac Pass, we are going to see that bad boy back on full HP in absolutely no time. And then again, Team Xray with the attempt to go through the bottom of the map to maybe decide the game in their favor now as well. The top lane is still pushing. What an insane turnaround. But here comes the play. They're trying to go for the core. ETC is going to be back in a moment. There's 2 armor shields still ready. ETC, Sylvanas, they are both there. The Vikings are coming in too. This is going to get incredibly close once again. Daddy already low as they're trying to make the play here. ETC needs the mosh pit. He's trying it, but the immediate interrupt from Li Ming Ming is a little bit too greedy. Only a Death Knight is low though, and they're having the core down to 10,000 HP, but it doesn't matter. They're getting dropped as well, and Nubarak, Tehaka, and Ana all down, and this is going to be the end of Li Ming as well. Li Ming falling, and Ultralis tries to rush away, but there's the arrow. The owl follows. The Vikings have already made the play up to the top as they're trying to go for the core again. What an insane back and forth. We're back on the left side, everybody. Straight in, going once more for the blue team's core, and this time with a full 5-man wipe against Team Xray. There's absolutely no doubt that Hold My Beer is finally going to be able to win this. They take the lead in this best of 3 series at the Mythic Championship of Heroes launch. What an insane game to start the series. After a pretty epic game number 1, we're heading into the second map of the series, the best of 3 here at the Mythic Championship. Team Xray, kind of the favorite to head into this particular match, but down 1 map now as Hold My Beer with a Viking strategy was able to claim victory on all direct pass. Now we're looking at Volskaya Foundry with Xray on Ana for the blue team, Ultralisk on Hanzo, Death Knight on Garrosh, Sugar Daddy 69 on Malthael, and Servas on Medivh. On the right side of the map, Sartuas on ETC, Cesabos on Tyrande, Kolatka on Thrall, Bolts on Li Ming, and Gore Rider again on Sylvanas. And as I said before, the favorite in the series might have been up to this point Team Xray, but then again, Hold My Beer, as I stated before, is one of the more ambitious teams within Division S and definitely has been seen playing a couple of tournaments and really trying to push the envelope. If they can take this map though, that's a bit of a different question. We have Thrall on level 1 already going for a little bit of, let's call it out of the box thinking. Rolling Thunder. I'm not 100% certain what exactly has bitten him to take that talent. I'm not quite sure how you end up with Rolling Thunder as your level 1 choice, if that's just drugs. Again, stay away from those kids. If that's too much alcohol or what exactly happened there. But not really a talent that you see a whole lot. I actually expect that with them also... I mean, I expect that Echo of Elements, to be honest with you. They don't have a third melee that they could easily go into Crash Lightning. But with this particular setup, you might have a chance of seeing a little bit more sustainability for yourself. But if that's really the weapon of choice to win the game here, that's a bit questionable. So we're going to keep an eye on him and the damage output for sure. But that's definitely not something that I would recommend others to take here. As it stands though, we have 1 minute into the game, both teams making the rotation to the turret, so I like that already a lot. Both teams definitely showing that they know about how to execute the early game rotations on the map and what to prioritize here. It's all about the items. Once the camps spawn, you want to be there right away to try and get an item advantage over your opponent. And also to ensure that you have a second item possibly up while we are on the first objective for both of the teams. And now we even have the attack up here at the top. Already the throw out as they're trying to go for it. And here comes the slide. Healing Beacon still, yeah, in play now and gets stolen away. So all the hard work done by Hold My Beer. And then we have Team Xray moving in and stealing everything. The experience and the item itself. And now they have level 4. Also a little bit quicker than their opponent. Yeah, with that said, down to the bottom of the map, we're still seeing Balsa single-handedly on the lane, waiting for Thrall to come in and take over. But the experience lead has actually really been propelled forward by Team Xray now. They're getting quite a lot of value out of those camps and the added XP through minions that they already got. So yeah, Thrall on level 4 now, also with a Feral Resilience. I mean, when they talked about holding their beer, I think Thrall did not really pay any attention to that, and he didn't only hold the beer, he drank all the beer. Because those are definitely talents that you would more so see in a quick match, but not really something that is oftentimes witnessed anywhere else. And he even dies at the bottom now against Malthael, so it's not a good start for him. I can only assume that with Rolling Thunder into Feral Resilience, he's really worried about having any kind of sustain here, that they really feel they need to make him as tanky as possible and as safe sustainable as possible. So that might be a thought process, but I gotta admit at this point I'm really guessing, because that's not something that you see on a higher level in any games. This is the first time in ages that I've seen that talent. We had it once, I think, where it was in an HTC tournament, and I think that was a simple misclick. Might have been the case there too. On level 4 against Garrosh, I honestly gotta admit that I would have expected him to go into the Frostwolf pack there too, just to make sure that he can pick Alpha Wolf later and get the added synergy against the heavy hit point tank. But as it stands, a very extravagant build for Thrall, but the objective is up now, and Team Xray is so far off to a good start. They got the first kill, they got the extra items, they have a lead as they're heading into the objective, they have a lead in experience, which gives them a very early level 7, and that brings us now to an advantage that is very difficult to beat for Hold My Beer. So they're sitting just on the lanes, trying to get enough XP to get the talent as well. But in the meantime, we're having all of this already being added up. And obviously, Medivh is also in play here. Servas on his hero has 28 stacks on the baseline, which makes him starting to get realistically up to a completion where he can start to play a bit more aggressively. With level 7, they also now were able to take their next turret. The same thing that we're seeing from Hold My Beer on the right side now. And at this point, we have not a single stack, by the way, on the level 1. And not a single stack for the Unfurling Shadows. But with the Festering Wounds, I would expect that to change soon. We have the Ancestral Wrath for Thrall, so even more sustained for him now, and definitely also a small nuke. But there's a huge lead now for Team Xray. I mean, 99% against 54, and they have a stats advantage too. They can simply pre-tap, and with the surplus in items that they currently hold, there's a very good chance for them to win the first Protector in the game. And they're looking for that already. They're starting to make the play here. They're moving in. The tower turret gets already dropped and immediately isolated. But there's also the healing beacon as they're trying to keep at least Medivh alive. He's sitting at 31 stacks right now. Make it 32. And he wants the completion. If they can kill him and get the reset would be great. But instead it's ETC who's in trouble. And he gets stunned out. The kill against Li Ming comes first. ETC survives for another second. Malthael actually barely getting out there. But they get the Protector. Medivh is only 2 stacks away from completing his quest as well, and things are starting to be quite difficult for Hold My Beer. They're falling behind in experience, an entire level behind before the Protector gets value, and in addition to that, they are now also facing a Medivh that already completes his quest 5.5 minutes in, dishes out the damage here. Heroes have fallen, it's 2 kills against 0, and with that 1-0 lead that Hold My Beer has, it seems a bit like they tickled the bear there a little bit. They poked the Grizzly too much, and now all of a sudden we're seeing Team Xray starting to poke back. They're being aggressive about this, and they will drop the top wall and the fountain, which is obviously the most important part. You want to take down that fountain as quickly as you can, so that you have an advantage heading into the second objective on Volskaya Foundry. ETC already pushed back. There's a 4 versus 3 though. Death Knight tries to save Ultralis, gets also nearly stunned out, but gets the throw against ETC, and then the portal saving Anna just as the cow slides through. That's a bit unfortunate. At least Thrall gets his counter kill at the bottom of the map as he jumps onto Malthael and drops him. Malthael attempting to get a kill with the last rites and couldn't, so that's 1 stack gone. So Thrall against Malthael is a 1-1 at this point. Both of the teams now on level 10. So with that, we are now currently witnessing, well, Sundering being taken. We're also having Mosh Pit taken again, as in the last game. They were a little bit too aggressive, honestly, around the Mosh Pit, but oftentimes just simply got interrupted by other heroes. Especially Li Ming did a great job with that, having her ult ready every single time that ETC wanted to go for it. But that invade over here could turn the tides a little bit if they get the item advantage, but they need to try and get that first too. And ETC is already low. They get the camp at least, but ETC is down. The triple ley line in the back, and already Death Knight moving in as Garrosh is trying to get another kill set up for them. They already dropped Thrall after ETC, and now they're going for Toranda. She's down, and guys, it's going to be a 5-man wipe. They take the entire team apart. Nicely done here. 5-man team wipe in game number 2 against Hold My Beer, and now the items are stolen away. That's the second turret in the hands of Team Xray. The next objective, as mentioned before, is going to spawn topside, and now they have a chance to move through the bottom, and as they're pinging it already, drop the fountain here to already prepare for the third objective in the game, which oftentimes even is able to finish the game. These days, it's a little bit less likely that with a third Protector you're going to be able to finish but at least with a fourth, that's usually a realistic chance. And even with the third one, you have an opportunity there usually. Already the attack against Tyrande again as they're trying to make the play there. And Tyrande goes down. That's the first stack for Malthael. And they get another kill. Team Xray is hungry for a victory in game 2. They want to force the third map. 9 kills against 1, and they are absolutely dominating here with a 2-level lead and also a talent advantage. Look at Sylvanas, for example. She's sitting at 37 stacks. We are 8.5 minutes in, and Sylvanas, even with the festering wounds, didn't get a whole lot done with this. Now we're having Li Ming in a bit of trouble as well. Good shield here from Medivh that could have backfired. But with the fort at the bot lane now also destroyed, the blue team is gaining more and more ground on the map here. More and more momentum for them. They're turning that little snowball that they had early on into an avalanche at this point and are trying to take them apart. So now towards the top side, we're actually seeing Servas pushing everything out with his Medivh. We're having 21,000 damage from Malthael alone, 20,000 from Hanzo, 19k on Thrall. But they haven't really made a dent into this game. Hold my beer, that is. They're trying desperately, but they're definitely starting to struggle. They need some decent resets for Li Ming to turn this around, and Balsa was under a lot of pressure in most of these fights. Still 2 turrets in the hands of the blue team as they go in with the advantage. They have obviously also the fountain still up on the top lane, which matters a lot for this particular fight. The Medivh factor, another thing that can't be underestimated here, especially with a good ley line. He could set a lot up. There's the shield already. Turret on the ground. The arrow, the taunt, and the kills. Down they go. Garrosh is sacrificed, but they get a triple kill as the result. They take down everybody. It's another 5-man team wipe as they drop Tyrande as the last remaining hero here. These attempts to go for mosh pits just don't work out for ETC right now. And now we have 14 kills against 2, and we have a 2-level advantage. That item lead still, oh, sorry, the item lead 2, but I was basically trying to refer to the talent lead here, is still strong for them. They go now talking about item leads also for the next healing beacon. Fort at the top lane has been eliminated. And honestly, at this point, you can make the play for the keep. I don't really feel they need to go into the middle to drop the fort here, but that seems to be the rotation that they're gonna go for. But I could have totally understood if they would just went topside in an attempt to drop the keep itself. So they are really taking them apart here. And still, with 13 finally in the hands of Hold My Beer, they might have a bit of a chance. The problem is, Team Xray, they're closing in on level 16. Thrall is still trying at the bot lane to push out another wave. But talking Thrall, while the Protector is getting attacked here, Thrall might be out a little bit too much. Yep, Sugar Daddy's already moving in. And Daddy wants his prize. Daddy comes in, and Daddy drops the last rights. That's the 3rd stack for him, and that means 15-second cooldown reduction on the side of Malthael. ETC moves away, but every single fort has fallen now, and they are looking just fantastic here. And especially with the cooldown reduction on Malthael, he of course becomes a bigger and bigger problem here in these fights, especially if he can get another kill or 2 through the last rights. He will be on an absolutely insane cooldown and can just spam that out in the team fights multiple times. He has lost the top damage position towards Hanzo, but that was to be expected. 33,000 now for the guy with the bow. And portals get delivered even by the conveyor belt here. But yeah, with 15 kills against 2, it's obviously a struggle for Hold My Beer to come back into this. Then again, I've seen crazier things happen. I just remind everyone of the Swedish performance at the Chinese Gold League when we had them dominate the entire game on Volskaya Foundry, and then they lost 1 fight on level 18 versus 20 against their opponent at the 3rd objective, and all of a sudden lost the game itself. So while we have a sick lead for them and another kill, oh, the heals from Tyrande, nicely done. That kill with the last rights was denied. But while we have that sick lead, there's always a chance to come back in Heroes. But it gets smaller and smaller. There is a chance, but it is starting to really disappear. There comes the last, the Leyline Seal. They want to go for another 5-man wipe. Li Ming moves away. Ooh, mosh pit against 4, and the Li Ming kills. She's playing Heroes Whack-A-Mole, taking down 3 heroes. Nicely done. A couple of lag spikes definitely not really contributing to this. That's definitely on our end and doesn't influence the players here. But holy shit, ETC was looking for this mosh pit for 2 games now. And in this one, he's actually able to get a 4-man mosh. And then Li Ming just rubs her hands and says like, okay boys, it's go time. Jumps in and gets the double kill. Makes it a triple shortly after with the help and the assistance of the minions there. But now we have level 16 talents on their side too. So with this, yeah, we see the Mirror Ball, we have the Will of the Forsaken. Here's also the Alpha Wolf. Again, even stranger that he didn't go into the Frost Wolf pack on level 4. These are the synergies that we're usually seeing on Thrall, but in this case, the level 1 and the level 4 talent definitely reminding us a little bit more of quick match than high level competition. And that we have another item on the other hand taken, and all of a sudden, Hold My BS back. Again, still behind. You look at the minimap and you quickly realize that from a structural perspective, they're insanely far behind. But that kill could change everything, and it does. The healing is on the ground, but even with a beacon drop, Li Ming is still dead. And that was another stack for Malthael too. 20-second cooler reduction for him now. They get another kill against ETC, and they drop Thrall. Just as it looked like around Objective 3, there might be an even talent fight between the two teams, where Hold My Beer could attempt to force a comeback and maybe turn this into a quick 2-0. It looks more and more like Team Xray is going to take this easily. Objective is up on the map. They have 20 kills against 5 right now, and that triple kill just opened the door for the third protector. And they can even push out the bot lane if they want and already knock down the wall. That would be an easy one for them as well. So yep, nicely done here. Down to the bottom. Yep, Ana is already taking it. Is playing the safe for now. There's the wave pushing through. Let's take another look at the damage. 46,000 on Malthael and Hanzo. Yeah, and they are both doing extremely well here. I mean, especially the 4 stacks that we have on the last rights make it, of course, easy for Malthael to spam out the cooldown a little bit more here in those fights. There's a much easier time to committing to it. No problems for him whatsoever. 91 stacks by now on Sylvanas, so she adds some damage at least to the equation, but it's not as much as they would really hope for. There's a level 20 now also for Team Xray, and with that it's usually ill-advised to go for the fight, but Hold My Beer throws a bit of a Hail Mary pass now, attempting to somehow win this despite the odds. They're looking for the kill. They might be able to get the kill. Malthael might be in trouble here. Hanzo drops the arrow just as the ley line is on the ground, but there's the last rights kill, number 5. 25-second cooldown reduction. ETC, Li Ming and Sylvanas are all dead, and now Thrall has been eliminated too, and that's 24 kills against 6. Protector dropping onto the ground, and the rest of the team is just hunting down Tyrande for another team wipe. They are absolutely murdering them right now. I mean, shit like that is illegal in so many countries here in Europe. 25 against 6, they're absolutely going through it, and this is not really a good sign for Hold My Beer. They had made a great play in game number 1 when they played around the Vikings and controlled the macro aspect of the map, but now in game number 2, they're simply outmatched in those team fights and completely taken apart here. I gotta kill the keep before you can go for the core, boys. But obviously that is going to be a core attempt. And Li Ming is down for another 8 seconds, 5 on Sylvanas. The shields are already falling and things are not looking pretty for Hold My Beer. This is looking more and more like we are going to see game number 3 in this best of 3 series. The mosh pit is a nice touch, but it's not going to change anything. The last game might have been a little bit insane with the back and forth on the core, but now the cow is dead again. 8 deaths against Thrall, by the way. And there's also the core dropping now finally into the single digits and gets taken out as Team Xray forces game number 3 here at the Mythic Championship against Hold My Beer. GG and well played. Game number 3, ladies. Hold My Beer. They got a little bit spanked on the last map. And Team Xray definitely got angry after losing on Alterac Pass and tried to turn around here. Now we're on Cursed Hollow, the final map in this best of 3 at the Mythic Championship. And on the left side, Xray himself with Stukov, Death Knight on Anubarak, Ultralisk on Alarak. We have Servus on Hanzo and Sugar Daddy 69. He's playing Illidan today. Whereas on the right side of the map, Balsa playing Medivh. They saw that bad boy in the last game. They said, you know what, that hero looks pretty good, let's try him. Go right on Falstad, Golotka on Thrall again. We have Satwas on Diablo and Cesarbos on Tyrande. And Thrall, at least in this game, a bit more into a standard talent here. Echo of Elements taken for him now too. So that's already a huge improvement over the Rolling Thunder that we've seen in the last game. I'm still chalking that up to a mispick, to be absolutely honest with you, because why would you ever do that? And I'm sure there's going to be some guy in the YouTube comments like, no, Khaldor, you don't understand. That talent is fantastic. I play in Plastic League and I have an 80% win ratio with it. But yeah, in any kind of competitive setup, it's not really something that you're aiming to go for. So yeah, in this case, we have normally always the battle between Crash Lightning, which can be an option on certain maps, and the Echo of Elements. Echo of Elements has been chosen here, adds the sustain, adds to the poke, and makes a whole lot more sense here. So I'm still chalky. I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt and just say, okay, game number 1, it was a simple misclick on the Rolling Thunder. So for now, things are actually looking pretty decent on the level 1 talents. We have also the reactive Ballista Spores, which have been a little bit more dominant as a Stukov talent on level 1. We've seen that just previously too. We're seeing Battered Assault now for Illidan as well. So already looking for those team fights. Especially around boss battles, that's going to be pretty nice for them if they can get the value out of this. But yeah, with this top side, what do we have there? Go Rider with his build went straight into the Wingman, so he's gonna try and get the stacks together. There's a couple of different approaches to the build. I mean, most of the time you still see Boomerang on level 7, which then allows you to still push the side lane quite heavily and gives you the wave clear that allows you to get those stacks for the level 1 a bit quicker. But there are definitely builds where you can go into a full focus on the Lightning Rod. That has been a style that has been played a while back. It's not really all that common anymore, but every now and then you see it. But most of the time these days it's more of a hybrid attempt with Hammer Gains on level 4 and then the Boomerang on level 7 that we're seeing even with the Windman attempt here. But whichever road he goes down, we're gonna see in just a second. There's a level 4 kicking in that gives us the Mana Tide already for Thrall. In addition to that, Anubra going for the heavy engage right now with not only are we going to see the Subterranean Shield, but at this point we have Underking. And also, there is the Hammer Gains, as expected. Talking also about the engages here. Dibbles is already moving in and they're trying to take down Servas, but instead it's Falstad at the top that goes down. Yep, the bird is going to end up in a KFC bucket, and Illidan apparently is hungry for some chicken today, so he's taking him down. The blind boy is rocking the show here, whereas at the bottom of the map you have the silence set up against Thrall, as both of them are going for the action. Level 10 gives us, of course, the potential for a couple of combos too, and especially when we're looking into the Leyline Seal, as Leyline into APOC as an option. Teddy, by the way, is down. Blind Man bullied by Diablo and Medivh. That's what's happening here. It's an unfortunate thing that Blizzard endorses this kind of hate crimes that we're seeing right now, but it is a sad reality. So yeah, the Blind Man gets bullied, and the bird in the middle of the camp with the help of Tyrande able to get at least one Bruiser camp into the mid to help them out there. Alright, so we're good to go. Second game looks definitely a lot closer than game number 1. Good silence here, I love this. I honestly really enjoyed for most of the time really the Stukov setups. Having that silence with the lurking arm coming through after hard engage. It's not really a lot of fun when you're on the receiving end of that action, but if you just watch it from an observer's perspective, it's pretty fucking awesome. Let's be honest about it. A good executed or well executed combo with a good play around Stukov there can be really, really awesome, especially after level 13. The bird flying in down to the bottom to help out with the kill against Alarak, and they actually get that. But after level 13, when you also can just root the target into the ground, that's obviously fantastic for a Stukov player. And that's really where Admiral Gonzalez back in the days made his big plays. Good old chat when they were playing with Team Zealots at the Western Clash. Talking about Clash, we're seeing Death Knight clashing with Gore Rider there for a moment. And it was an easy tribute, the second one. So far it has been 2 tributes, not really heavily contested, 1 for each team. As mentioned before, we have the Subterranean Shield now on level 7, so that already worked. Illidan went straight into the Unbound on level 4, and the Thirsting Blade now too. No friend or foe for him. And Daddy, oh my god. The core rider nearly died to the turrets as he was going deep to see if he can get the kill there. That didn't work out for him, but oh boy, both of them nearly bit the dust there. Now we have 10 stacks on Alarak, who's by the way sitting at only 80 sadism at this point, so not really a whole lot that he could gather here. We're having for Thrall the follow-through taken and the Malevolence. But I gotta admit that for Thrall, I'm not really a fan of the follow-through. I explained that in a previous video. The theory obviously is that if you go for Echo of Elements and you gain the extra charge in your Chain Lightning, you can spam out another ability, and with that you can work in more auto attacks for follow-through and you get good damage in as well. So in theory, it's actually a really cool setup if you're mechanically gifted and you're able to really diligently get that out through a team fight. The problem is that if you have... Oh, that's a good attempt to go for Xray. That might actually lead to a kill there too, but no, he gets away. Yeah, the problem is that if you have Ancestral Wrath, not only is it a really nice boost burn, a quick burn against any high hit point hero, which is amazing for you, but in addition to that, it also helps you with the sustainability. So normally Ancestral Wrath is just the better talent to be taken here. And for Thrall to get real value out of the follow-through, as we said before, he has to be mechanically absolute on point. Medivh is in trouble, and he goes down and loses all the stacks. And that is horrible. Baseline reset, they get the counter kill against Hanzo. But it's still a bit of a disaster for Medivh to lose this now. The Wolf comes through once again. We're also having now, as you could see, those lurking arms doing value once more. As the level 10, so obviously you don't want to take that fight any longer. That should be an easy second tribute for them. They make the play for Xray, and Stukov survives. The bird goes down as Illidan comes in. They didn't even have level 10 at the time. And here comes the attack as Alarak goes for the deadly charge. The deadly NA arrow doesn't hit anything though, but the shove into the wall eliminates Tyrande with the help of Illidan. And now they're making the play for Diablos, trying to escape through that gate. Oh, that turned around quickly. The early level 10 put them in a good spot, but then Sugar Daddy happened. Illidan came in and was like, boys, I got the hunt. And talking about the hunt, he's already hunting straight down to the bot lane to make sure that they are getting the control over the Siege Giants. And thanks to the cooldown reduction on his auto attacks, he can easily pull that off too. The Owl is already underway, so they're scouting out what's happening there. APOC is not up though, they only have the ley line. But Team Xray is still going for a bit of a greedy play there. Now the bird is still up at the top, and another 4 seconds will bring us the Mighty Gus, and Falstad is flying in. Guys, this could hurt. This could hurt. Team Xray might have overstepped here. They went for a greedy play and they might get punished for it. Where's the Mighty Gust when you need it? And there it is. Can they take the boss? No, they cannot. The silence on the ground and the kill against Medivh again. Another reset. And here comes another one against Diablo any second. The Cocoon is already dropped on Falstad and they're making the play right now. There's the arrow once again straight to North America as we're having Tyrande taken apart and Illidan is hunting down Thrall. Good luck running away from an Illidan. That's never working out for anybody. And Kolatka goes down. With that, the only survivor for now is Falstad down at the bottom of the map right now. And here comes the tribute that's also been claimed. The massive push with the boss. Death Knight low on mana, but trying to get the kill in against Falstad. And should be able to even pull that off with Daddy, but nope. Medivh is there. Medivh is there and ruins the play, but at this point, it's becoming a bit of a different spanking here. It's becoming a little bit harsher. Diablo's trying to get them experience at the top lane, while the rest of the team is gathering for the defense at the keep. They know they can't hold the fort. It's already starting to become a point of what's happening around tribute number 3. And actually, they're getting the kill against Hanzo. Hanzo goes down. He overstayed his welcome here by quite a bit. The rest of the team was already falling back. And now, despite the fact that they have a level 13 talent, there's a good chance that Hold My Beer is able to get the tribute and get the curse. So this is by no means over yet. We have 9 kills against 4, but the combo is now ready too. You have Leyline into Apocalypse. That's another thing that they can check out though. So this is actually going to become quite nice here. 20,000 damage for Thrall. In comes the hunt again for the interrupt. Hanzo isn't there yet, but Daddy is doing his thing. His stuns don't really connect that way. Daddy doesn't have friend or foe, and that's the end. He goes down. Arrow comes through. There's the ley line. There's the APOC. They're making the play for Alarak. Alarak is low. Earthquake already used by Thrall just before the cocoon hits. And they're trying to go straight in for Ultralisk. And they get the additional kill against Alarak. Despite the fact that they didn't have 13 talents, they take the fight, and now we're talking Curse. Having a 5 versus 4 in your favor obviously worked quite nicely for them. And now you're in that dilemma position again, where you have to spread out onto the lanes, or you're starting to lose experience as those minion waves are getting taken down. Both of the teams on level 13 talents, and with that comes the virulent reaction and the opportunity for Stukov to root targets into the ground now. Death Knight up at the top has gone into the Burning Rage, which helps him with wave clear, of course, as well. 9 kills against 6. They're trying to make the play there, but they can't quite get that. Keep in mind that Medivh has died several times and is only at 3 stacks on the baseline. That's a pretty big problem for him too. Having now in the middle of the map, yeah. Thrall in slight trouble here against Alarak, needs to be careful, but obviously the minion wave is with him, and here comes the rest of the team trying to get the lockdown against Ultralisk. The arrow connects against 2. Yep, Alarak alive, and Medivh is dead again, and in comes Illidan, and he's starting to hunt them down quite literally. Sugar Daddy with the attacks, trying to get the cooldown reduction, gets it once, twice, and that's going to be a dead Thrall for sure. Yep, he is down. The quest is completed. Tyrande has also fallen. 12 kills against 6. And still a 1-level lead for the team in blue. And they move to the boss at the top lane. They want to get that momentum now once again. Quest talents. 22 stacks for Alarak on his level 4 on the negatively charged. We're currently seeing Hanzo only on 3 for his baseline. 15 for Nubarak. So he's still half his quest away from getting the additional 500 HP that he desperately needs at this point. And I don't even want to talk about Medivh because he's not having a good game here at all when it comes to his stacking progress. The fort of the bot lane was taken out. Sugar Daddy playing Silver Surfer here with his Illidan, surfing straight into battle. But the fight has started here now too, and the APOC is actually solid, and that's the lockdown that they needed against Stukov. Illidan with a hunt any second. Yes, the ley line comes through. They're trying to lock down Anubarak. Medivh himself is a bit low. Arrow comes in. Arrow connecting, but so does the stun, and Anubarak is dead. Anub goes down. 12 kills against 8. Battle is all over the place. It's game number 3. It's game number 3. You need to win this right now. The portal engage and the death of Hanzo as a result. Medivh might not be able to get his stacks together for his baseline, but he's definitely in a position where he sets up the dangerous plays against the blue team. But Team Xray has still taken that boss earlier, which allowed them to go through the top fort like hot butter through cheese, and they now just moved straight in towards the keep as well. They still hold that lead. They are ahead by 3 kills right now, and Illidan of course gives them now also a pseudo-global, which can match the rotations of Falstad and also push out the side lanes, which is pretty much what Illidan has been doing most of the time there. So when we're taking a look at the experience, you can already tell that Illidan is sitting currently at 8,600 XP, and compared it to Falstad, for example, definitely ahead at this point. 16 talents for both teams now with a Thunderstorm for Thrall. They're going for the battle again. And the ult comes through as Thrall goes for the Earthquake. The arrow soaked up by Dibbles alone. Good for them. Illidan with a kill against Tyrande, but he himself in trouble. They go for Diablo, the wall stun, and the double stun for the kill. Alarak is down, and Illidan is still on the chase. Getting one as they drop Thrall, but he himself is also dead. Balsa also eliminated. It's not quite a team wipe yet, but they are definitely looking for one. And they get the bird too. The bird is down. 17 kills against 11. The big push at the top lane with a double wave. Dibbles obviously came back after losing his souls and is now back in the action to try and make the play there. In terms of damage, 34,000 by Thrall, working around the Thunderstorm as well. Alarak on 45k, and things are starting to look a bit better for Team Xray for sure. The curse has also hit as the tribute was channeled, and that's an opportunity now to not only destroy the final fort here, but also push this further. And they're just simply moving past it. There is no reason why you would go for the fort here. Just attack the wall right there. 2 heroes still down, get the minion wave, soak that off, gets it through with the Burning Rage. and make sure that the minions do the rest. Wait for the rest of the team. Illidan is 10 seconds away from having the hunt again. Can just attack anything if you find something here. Here comes the Virulent reaction. APOC combo from Diablo. Ooh, big spike. Even the game is getting exciting of what's happening here. They make the play for Death Knight, and there's the ley line. Dropped right away, but Dibbles, thanks to the shove, is completely out of position. Attempt to save him, and he actually get the kill against Stukov. And Diablo, despite the fact that he didn't have any souls there, is now in a great spot. And they're going for the gust from the angle, moving again for Alarak, and they're gonna get that kill. Unbelievable. The Keep, on the other hand, at the top lane is getting heavily damaged right now. A massive problem for them here. Falstad flies in to try and get it. In the meantime, Hanzo dies too, so that's the 5-man wipe right there. And thanks to Gorrider taking the boomerang on level 7, he's able to push out the wave quickly enough. The game is all over the place now. 17 against 16 kills. And we have Hold My Beer with a move for the boss, trying to push through the bot lane and take the first keep of the game there. Unbelievable setup, seriously. 40 stacks only for Alarak at this point. Nothing crazy for him. He still holds a lot of the damage for his team. Gorrider now also with a quick move right over here, getting another Siege Giant camp set up for the bot lane pressure. We're having 57,000 damage for Alarak, 41,000 for Thrall, who's definitely benefiting now from that extra charge through the Echo of Elements. And of course, level 20 is closing in for them too. So that's another big one that we're going to see there. With this case, we're having, first of all, Medivh cheats after they went for the ley line. We're having also the Earth and Shield, plus Nexus Frenzy. Alright. Haven't seen that talent in a hot minute. Going for the auto attack, despite the fact that he does not have the Seasoned Marksman nor the Giant Killer. Well, actually, that's Giant Killer, my apologies. So they're trying to put some additional pressure onto Nubarak there. But no Seasoned Marksman for them. Illidan comes in from the side, gets wall stunned immediately. Daddy has to move out and taps the fountain, but the boss is already on the point, and this is an opportunity for Hold My Beer to maybe even win the game there. Arrow again, not hitting anything. And rumor is that it's still flying to the day, and the keep is down. 16 against 17 kills, level 20. Still no Storm Talons for Team Xray. They're close, but they don't have them yet. But they're able to set up the defense regardless. Well, now we're also having, in addition to that, the Hellgate for Diablo. 19 now on the side of Team Xray. Still, they want those Storm Talons. They want to make sure that they have an opportunity to turn this around in the next battle. And they need that too, because there's another boss up on the map. And if any of the teams decide to go into this one, then it is going to be a lot of fun there. Here comes the rewind. We're also seeing the Nowhere to Hide. We have even the plays being made here by Hanzo, who's going to play for the game, and the top off now too. And Illidan is already doing exactly that. Illidan is currently sitting down here at the bottom, trying to make his little play here, waiting for the rest of the team to just rotate in towards the objective, and he can always, with his level 20 talent now, make the quick move straight into the battle. So that's obviously what his idea is of how to play this out. And as long as there's no fight, he doesn't even have to use it. Can use it within the fight itself and try and hunt onto the backline and try and get a quick kill against Tyrande or against Falstad. And this is going to be very likely the final fight of the game. One keep extremely low on the side of Hold My Beer. One eliminated from Team Xray. And here comes the hunt. They're going in. They go for the kill. Illidan on the other hand, he's low. The arrow misses again. Medivh using the ley line. There wasn't any APOC, but now that the Earthquake is in, the APOC hits, and that's not only Illidan falling, that's Hanzo dying too. And they're going in again. It's leyline time, baby. And already Falstad with the gust there. Straight in the back. They go for Xray. He's likely to fall. They actually ignore him for now. Instead, they're moving for Ultralisk. But Nubarak comes in, gets the stun through. Cocoon on the ground. Can they maybe turn this? It doesn't really seem like it. And nope. And Nubarak is dead. They go for the next kill. And they take Alarak. And only Xray is still in play. And that's the moment to go for the core. It looks like Hold My Beer might be able to take this best of 3 series against their blue team opponents. The portal being used to jump straight onto the core. 3 catapults pushing in with it too, and they actually pull it off. They got demolished in game number 2. They got absolutely destroyed, but now on the 3rd map, Hold might be successful against Team Xray as they are going in, drop the core, and take the 2-1 victory at the Mythic Championship against Team Xray. GG and well played as Hold My Beer takes the W.